Fresh meat.
Hang up the phone!
You don't have much time.
Hey everybody, we're here at CinemaCon with an early review of The Black Phone, which screened in its entirety. So, in this movie, a young boy, played by Mason Thames, is kidnapped by a notorious serial killer called the Grabber, who of course is played by Ethan Hawke. With only days to go before his captor kills him, he's aided by a mysterious black phone which connects him to the Grabber's deceased former victims. Now, The Black Phone is a terrific example of an ever-popular kind of genre offering, the coming-of-age horror film. It's a genre that's seen a resurgence in recent years thanks in part to It Part 1 and 2. Why is this type of horror movie so effective? On the one hand, they hit on our nostalgia in a big way, but they also remind us of how scary everything was when we were kids. There's a window from about 10 to 14 years old where you're old enough to have some independence, but young enough that the neighborhood you live in seems immense and the world beyond is completely unknown. As such, nothing is more terrifying than what exists within your own neighborhood, be it the spooky house down the street or the park we were told not to go into after dark. The Black Phone from director Scott Derrickson, who co-wrote the screenplay with C. Robert Cargill, is actually based on a novel by Joe Hill, and it's a slam-bang little movie. Set in 1978, it's about a suburb that's being terrorized by a serial child murderer known as the Grabber. Enter Mason Thames as Finney Shaw. He's a nice kid, but he's also one that's easy prey for bullies at school. At home, things aren't much better with his dad an abusive drunk. The only silver lining for him is his sister Gwen, played by newcomer Madeline McGraw, who, despite being younger and pint-sized, always has his back. And oh yeah, she may also be psychic.
I had a dream about it.
Now, one by one, Finney's schoolmates are being picked off by the Grabber, and soon his time comes and he finds himself locked in the killer's basement. So it all sounds pretty grim, right? It's actually not, because Finney, throughout the film, is being taught to fight back by the spirits of the Grabber's previous victims, who communicate to him by the titular phone and want to help him escape. Finney refuses to be a victim, and in fact, all the people that have been killed by the Grabber also refuse to be victims, because even though they're dead, they're still fighting. Derrickson's method of depicting the spirits is unique, as we essentially see their gory ghosts, but their voices are distorted to make it sound like they're coming through on the phone, which is a really effective piece of sound design. Meanwhile, it's a race against time as Gwen tries to use her power to somehow point the police in the right direction. Now, there are a lot of reasons why The Black Phone works so well. One of them, of course, is due to the nostalgic period setting. It's set in 1978 and has some choice needle drops, as well as Derrickson's obvious expertise with horror, with him having done Sinister, which, remains a pretty effective little horror movie. But for me, the most important aspect of this film is the cast, in particular the two young leads, Mason Thames and Madeline McGraw. If you don't care about the kids in a movie like this, it just won't work, but both young actors are great. They feel like real kids in that they mouth off to their parents, but also have moments of naivete. But they also evoke a sense of toughness that was maybe more common of kids in another era, as they've essentially been taking care of themselves their whole lives, and of course, in this film, their dad is a mess. But even Jeremy Davies as the abusive drunk dad evokes some measure of sympathy, making him a less loathsome character than you'd think, and one that may actually be capable of change. And of course, there's also Ethan Hawke as the Grabber. Hawke has only rarely played villains, and he's terrifying here with his raspy whisper, long hair, and unsettling mask, which I'm sure is going to turn into a pretty popular Halloween outfit. He's used sparingly and is off-screen more often than not, but this works beautifully and he crafts a truly unique and frightening bad guy, because he feels real. He's not a jokey killer like Freddy Krueger. He feels like a guy that's really sick and really dangerous. Overall, I can't really say anything negative about The Black Phone. My only caveat, I think, is that if you were living in a neighborhood where 5 of your schoolmates had been picked off, the parents would be going insane, the kids would not be allowed outside of the home, and there would be police patrols everywhere. In this one, the kids are kind of still left to go off on their own devices, and nobody seems too afraid of being killed by a serial killer, which, I think is the one place where the film stretches credibility a bit. Otherwise, though, it's a rock-solid little horror movie, and pretty perfect for what it is. Hopefully it gets a robust theatrical run, because this is a movie to see with a big crowd if ever there was one. Universal and Blumhouse really do have the goods with The Black Phone. I give this one an excellent 9 out of 10.
Would you like to see a magic trick?
Yeah.
Tell me your name.
Taylor.
I was really starting to like you, Finny. I almost let you go.
Don't hang up.
Who are you?
You know all our names?
It doesn't work. Hang it up. I made you some breakfast.
What'd you put in that?
Salt and pepper.
Have you seen this boy?
My brother, he was taken.
By a man with black balloons.
I had a dream about it.
Please let the dreams be real.
You're getting out of here.
How?
There's a combination lock.
What's the combination?
You don't have much time. You're gonna use a weapon.
You are special, Finny.
Please hurry.
Ooh, the creepiest damn thing.